William Morrow and HarperAudio present The Retreat, a novel by Zara Raheem, performed by Soneela Nankani. For those we call sister. Prologue. The moment she hears the dense thud against the glass, Nadia rushes into the parking lot to examine her car. If it weren't for the stiff quills of feathers strewn on the pavement near her front tire, she would have guessed it was just some piece of litter chucked from one of the passing vehicles on the busy thoroughfare fronting Tuttle's 19-minute photo lab. "Shit," she utters when she sees the tiny sparrow crumpled into a ball, its brown speckled feathers ruffled into sharp spikes. Despite her typically composed demeanor, she's upset. Mangled vertebrates are likely to unsettle anyone that early in the morning. Sliding the envelope into the pocket of her blazer, she kneels. "Please don't be dead," she mutters, lowering her face to the ground. The bird stares at her from beneath the front grille, its polished eyes blinking rapidly. After a few moments, it smooths its plumage, gives a quick shake of its wings, and hops into the parking lot, darting its tiny head with a stunned expression. Nadia stands up, dusting the knees of her slacks. She looks up into the sky, cupping her right hand over her brows to shield her eyes from the sun. "Seriously?" she calls out, throwing her other arm up. "This is the best you can come up with?" Ever since her mom died of cancer last summer, Nadia has had reason to believe she has been trying to communicate with her via nature, of all things. Though she's never confessed this belief to anyone for fear of sounding ridiculous, how else can she explain the stray cat that suddenly appeared whenever she hid empty fast food containers at the bottom of the recycling bin before her husband Aman came home? Or the vociferous owl who fitted itself in a cozy nook in the branches of the ficus tree right outside her bedroom window? She isn't intuitive enough to dig deeply into the meanings behind these encounters. However, the last 12 months have transformed her from someone who wittingly spent her life disconnected from the natural world into some aberrant Disney princess, attracting forest fauna and winged creatures, much to her chagrin. Dropping her right hand, she notices an elderly man parked directly behind her, holding his car door open as he looks up at the patch of blue into which she was just shouting. "Looks like rain," she says, pointing at the unclouded sky, as he stares at her with furrowed brows. "Climate change, am I right?" She unlocks her car and slides into the driver's seat. She waits until the man shuffles into the photo lab before removing the envelope from her blazer pocket. Lifting the flap, she pulls out the prints, expecting snaps of her and Aman from the past weekend. However, a sinking realization shocks her into silence the moment she sees the first photo. One by one, she flips through the images, her thoughts racing in disbelief as a startled cry escapes from her lips. 1. 2 hours earlier, the only thing on Nadia's mind is breakfast, as she sifts through the small stack of photographs left for her on the kitchen counter with the note, "Tell me what you think." The photographs were taken 2 days ago, on the morning of her 35th birthday. Aman pulled Nadia out of bed while the sky was still smudged in darkness, and the two of them drove to Abalone Cove, an ecological preserve just south of Los Angeles, and climbed the trails traversing the snaking bluff side. At first, Nadia was not...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?